Today's episode is brought to you by the Sounds in Cinema podcast.
Everything sequel contains explicit language. And why the fudge not, you melon farmer?
I am from the How Dare You Awards. Joining me, my good friend, Tom Stewart of Lonesome Whistle Productions. Say hi, Tom.
You are in for a show tonight, son. That's one of my favorite lame redundant quips made by supporting not supporting characters. What are they called? Background characters in this movie. These movies.
Under 5.
They're under 5, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But as I've said before, this is the best.
One of the few moments that doesn't get a laugh but makes me smile is when that cop shoots his special gun and he just sort of looks at him. Like, the fuck are you doing? I'm Batman.
You're right. Yeah, that is one of the 3 highlights of that movie. You're right.
As previously discussed on our last episode.
Like as I've said before in reference to the Ben Affleck Batman, anytime you see Batman doing Batman stuff, I'm in.
You're happy, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's Batman stuff. Batman shit.
Exactly.
Bat shit.
That's Batman shit.
That's bat shit.
That's bat shit.
No, actually, that's Batman shit. Dark Knight Rises is bat shit.
Well said.
It's a very fine line.
All right, Tom, we are here to pitch our sequels to the Christopher Nolan series and give a trilogy of sequels.
Yeah, we're going to make it a quadrilogy.
Yeah.
Such a thing did not exist before Alien, I believe.
Really? Like, that's the first?
I think that was the first time they branded movies that way. No, I mean, it's not the first time there's been 4 movies in a series. It's the first time that for, DVD...
Oh, yeah, of course not, because we started with Superman and Jaws.
Yeah, no one called that a quadrilogy at the time. I think they wanted to forget that at least half of that happened. But I think Alien sort of
gave birth to the phrase.
It gave birth to the phrase.
Coined the word.
The
All right.
Quadrilogy. It already sounds like a mistake.
I know, right?
Just really? That's the word? Anyway.
All right. Well, talk to me about your journey. Easy, hard.
It's interesting because as much as I despise the Dark Knight Rises, I feel so much is left on the table in that movie that you could actually you can manufacture a decent sequel out of what they leave behind. I think.
Interesting.
Also, my I had some very specific conditions set for this, set for the sequel that I'm doing, and it involves getting rid of Christopher Nolan. It's like, but replacing him with perhaps an even more esoteric director. But I'm definitely thinking.
Pray tell, sir. Pray tell.
And then just another tease is my sequel is definitely thinking more holistically across the Batman franchises, rather than just being a Dark Knight sequel. I think this would be the point.
So let me guess, it's going to be called Batman the number 4 ever. You're just going to bring back Forever.
1 character from Batman Forever, 2 characters from Batman Forever come back. But I definitely I'm I
have a Batman Forever character too.
I think holistically about Batman, I don't want to divide the franchises. I think in the end, that's when Nolan got into trouble, is in trying to separate his vision from what came before. And I think this is the point of the series where, you start to acknowledge the history of the character in film, not just what you've done in your last two movies.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I think, a big problem with The Dark Knight Rises.
All right.
What about you? What about your journey?
I had to ruminate a while.
Yes. You
gave-
also care about things like quality, which, I don't give much regard to. So
I know. Well, we'll have an update, speaking of which, on, what was it?
breaking news.
Yeah. Oops. Wrong thing. So we just...
GNN.
Just thrown out onto the platform. Transistor FM, by the way, who hosts our podcast and puts it out for us. So thank you to them.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. But we just pitched our Tremors sequels.
We did.
I have a comment here.
Oh.
From Heather Pedersen Sahami, who says, Mike's sequel, hands down, but if Tom drops the Godzillas and just sticks with the Running Man Japanese game show mashup, I might be on board.
I don't think now is the time to drop... Well, let's see how Godzilla vs. Kong does at the box office before we decide to drop the Godzillas. That's going to be the telltale sign. Now
All
might
right,
not
fine.
be. It might still be the. We'll keep that in the arsenal until we find out what a horrible flop that movie's going to be.
Yeah.
But
I also
think,
because
I
we're
even
recording this on April 1st. So, what a better day than April Fool's Day for us to
it
be
was
pitching
April.
our sequels.
That Jaws sequel was April Fool's.
Oh, you must be right.
I just told
Tell the
I
people
just
what
told
we were
Mike
talking
about
about
a
before
Jaws
we got on air.
I just told Mike excitedly about a Jaws. I even put it on our page, I think, our Facebook page, about a Jaws sequel starring Richard Dreyfuss and Michael Caine. Oh, it was a fucking April Fool's prank. That's how
You got taken in.
Well, yeah, but I'm drinking the sequel Kool-Aid
Oh,
so
absolutely.
much now that I don't know what reality is anymore.
My head's spinning.
Someone, one of my friends put on their Facebook feed the other day. You ever had a sequel to a dream? Which is
yeah.
a great question. And I replied, I now dream exclusively in sequels.
Mm-hmm.
Each dream begins with me looking at photos of people who aren't in the dream, and
Right.
then a brief recap montage of previous dreams.
I don't have a lot of recurring dreams, but of course the two recurring dreams I do have involve Jaws,
Interesting.
great white sharks.
Huh.
I need to be in water, but I know that Jaws is in the water. The last one I had involved being told I had to at least dip a toe in all of the miniature swimming pools that were in this building. There were like 30 tiny swimming pools, but in each pool was a great white shark.
Okay. A tiny great white shark?
Nope.
Okay.
Small swimming pool, large shark.
I don't know why I'm poking holes in your dream logic.
In my dream logic. And the other one is Michael Myers
realize that
chasing
wouldn't fit.
me. Yeah. Yeah, but the other one is being chased by Michael Myers.
Oh, interesting.
I have that as a recurring dream every,
I don't want
They're
to
not often. They're
Yeah.
usually years apart from each other, but
I don't want to say this now for fear that we will have to pay to watch them. But we should do Halloween soon.
we'll do it in October. How about that?
Yeah, I think so.
For October, which is a different thing. We got to remember that.
Yeah,
too.
we'll do it once every day in October.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm well up for that. Yeah.
All right.
That's fascinating. Wow.
Mhm.
So basically, your two recurring dreams are two different kinds of movie slasher:
Yeah.
an animal and a human in inverted commas.
Right.
And we'll have that discussion many times over if we're
Many
doing
times
Halloween.
while we're doing Halloween, exactly.
But I remember that comment is great because I remember saying on the podcast that I felt yours had the edge. Anyway, the Legend of Bert's Gold, right? I know that wasn't the title, but that's what it was. Yeah.
No, the title, was just Tremors, Back to Perfection, again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right, let's move on, Tom. Do you want to go first, or do you need me to go first?
Well, I need to know how easy or difficult it was for you. You haven't...
Oh, at the end of the day, it all just sort of came together. But I think I'm going to catch some shit for this, based on how The Dark Knight Rises ended.
Then I think I want you to go first.
All right.
So you can weed out what you consider controversial in case I need to edit it out of mine.
All right. The title of my sequel is called The Dark Knight Reborn.
God, that's good. That's really good.
I'm
already jealous.
Okay.
I was looking for a that wasn't like ridiculous.
Oh, well, you can't even begin to know how many times I said return, or returns rather. And I thought, no, I can't do that.
My movie begins with a Cobblepot Manor. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
done
that's
it.
not, I can't, that's not, we can't do that. Now, I'm going to admit to you freely, I really just have the broad strokes.
Oh, that's good, because mine is alarmingly specific.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
But here we go. The Dark Knight Reborn.
Huh.
I am taking the character of Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and he's Batman.
Okay, great.
That's the deal. It's 2 years later, after the events of The Dark Knight Rises.
Yes.
Every day since, the unveiling of the statue, Gordon has been shining his new bat symbol up into the air. And Batman has not been coming. But we are going to, I'll preface all of this, cold open, Riddler.
Okay.
I got the Riddler in my movie.
Ugh.
I don't want a Riddler in tights with question marks. I certainly don't need a pink high top. We're gonna, in the Nolan vein, like Joker, purple suit, we're going green suit, dirty him up, and we're going to see a cold open of one of his crimes. Immediately after our cold open, we're going to see Jim Gordon on top of the building, shining the bat symbol. Batman shows up, much to his surprise.
And much smaller than he remembers him.
That's the only thing I don't like about this idea. The only thing. And the only thing I don't like about casting Joseph Gordon-Levitt in the first place is he's like 5'8" or 5'9". That's the only thing that's wrong. So, but...
Well, he's supposed to be Robin, not Batman.
Well, that's why I'm going to catch shit. But can you... do you say that that's definitive? Is he supposed to go into that cave and just become Batwing? Is that the idea?
Yes, but you're also
because
right.
To me, it seems like Batman's retiring, become Batman.
Well, Batman's always fucking retiring.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes, well, they say very clearly his real name is Robin. He's he's an orphan, so
he's an orphan.
He's Robin. But with Batman out of the picture, it's just and Robin.
Which doesn't work.
So what you're doing makes as much sense as how that movie left us.
Ended. Okay, good. That's what I think. That's what think I would catch the most shit for. Is everybody's going to say Batman? He's fucking Robin, you stupid dick.
Oh well, if Edward from Twilight can be Batman, I'm sure Joseph Gordon-Levitt can have a turn. Right?
Well, the other thing I thought of is perhaps he's just a more nimble Batman.
Perhaps he doesn't get beaten up and broken in half as much.
And so I've got a thing, it's like the biggest problem or hurdle I think I have is how do you let an orphan ex-cop become Batman? Because Batman was, trained by Force Ra's al Ghul.
He wasn't a Force ghost at the time.
That's true.
Just to clarify.
But he's got no League of Shadows, right?
Yeah.
So I feel,
I don't think Batman
I don't think I'm
really
going to
needs
show
that.
any of this, by the way. The one thing I love... What's that?
I don't... Again, I think that's a Nolanism that he needs a criminal organization to train him.
Right. So I like the idea of... Because I love that about the Joker in The Dark Knight. I love that we don't get an origin story.
Yeah.
We just drop in. And that's what's going to happen with the Riddler. And I'm doing the same for Batman.
Shit.
He's just Batman. What?
I'm laughing because first you ask, here's the question. There was basically two things that you said there that my sequel deals with. Okay, carry on.
Oh, well, I was excited. I thought you were going to tell me.
No, I'm going to save it, but I'm just, going through it in my head and thinking, he's right. On the other hand, what I have come up with directly contradicts all of this.
All of it? All right.
You can't even carry on.
So, look, for the most part, broad strokes, that's it. I mean, we're Batman versus the Riddler.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing, the thing I have to hash out the most is, look, if he's training in the Batcave, that is still underneath Wayne Manor, which is now an orphanage. So, is the character...
I take back everything I said about the Dark Knight Rises, leaving... It doesn't leave... What it leaves on the table is a fucking rotting meal. That's what it leaves on the table.
So I guess my idea was, okay, then Joseph Gordon-Levitt is with the priest that we see in Dark Knight Rises is in charge of that orphanage. He's working
Oh,
it together,
yeah, I know who you mean. Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But then my question was, does Alfred stay retired? Does, the priest become Alfred?
May have an answer for that question, too.
In yours, you mean?
Yes.
Nice. So, at the end of the day, my idea was new Alfred as the priest, which is interesting.
Also the side of house rules, more or less, right?
Yeah, true.
So we know he can do it.
Right. But I also think that comes into play with the idea of Batman not taking lives, and if he knows that Joseph Gordon-Levitt's Batman, then there's something in that relationship that's interesting if he's going out and fighting crime and hurting people, or
So Batman Alfred is aware.
Surrogate Alfred is the priest from Dark Knight Rises.
Okay, so Alfred knows that he's Batman now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, that's something that the movie didn't tease out either, because Alfred is not in The Dark Knight Rises in any meaningful capacity.
Right. Exactly. So that's it.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely started along the same railroad tracks for sure.
I thought, I was afraid that we might have something, I don't know why. I thought we would, with your sequels we've had in the past, I don't know why I thought for a second that we would have the same exact sequel. Because I assume yours involves, fighting creatures from outer space or something.
No, actually, it's. I'll say this. I think it's certainly a concept that Nolan would be proud of, but
All right.
it's down to earth enough for him. But I would take the execution in an entirely different direction that I don't think he'd be willing to go down that road.
Do you want to tell us who your idea for the director is first?
Yeah. I don't. Well, there's precedent for this. Do you remember before Batman Begins who the original director for Batman Begins was before Nolan took control?
Not offhand.
Darren Aronofsky.
Oh,
and that's who I want. That's who I want here, for a very specific reason.
Very interesting choice. Go on.
Yeah, I'm not sure if any of the rest of the movie is his cup of tea, but doesn't matter. I need him for one sequence. Okay.
All right.
The name of my sequel is The What? What? You haven't said anything yet.
I just got immediately excited.
Oh, good. Well, prepare to be disappointed. The Dark Knight and Robin.
Oh, all right. I'm on board.
So, like you, I'm taking the I'm taking the lead from the. It's not actually the ending of The Dark Knight Rises, but close enough. Of Blake, who's revealed to be called Robin, discovering the Batcave and having the keys, I guess, to the Batcave. Yeah. If the Batcave has keys, he's got them. It's no clearer than that. So, he immediately he adopts the persona of Robin, thinking about the statement that the server from Fresh Off the Boat told him in previous, the one who works with Paul Scheer in Fresh Off the Boat, told him at the end of Dark Knight Rises. So he's doing the outfit. Robin is his new persona. He's fighting crime at night, but unlike his rich scum predecessor, he also has a day job. So he's still a cop during the day.
But he throws his badge away.
Well, Gordon convinces him to come back, and now we know at least Gordon knows about Bruce Wayne, so we assume that he knows that he handed the Batcave keys onto Robin. So Gordon says, it's going to be essential to your cover that people think you're just a cop. So you need to keep working, and I'm gonna give you a prominent cop as well, because of what you did during the Siege of Gotham. Everyone's going to be looking to you, so you're going to be in charge of the drug squad.
Vice.
Yeah, nice. Specifically narcotics.
All right.
And he's like, okay, that can so that's his cover, that he's a drugs cop, and then at night he fights crime as Robin. So this is why I need Aronofsky, because we're gonna have a montage very early on in the movie, maybe even the beginning of the movie, where we're gonna show like the entirety of Robin's day. And I need someone who can do Requiem for a Dream style montages.
I was just gonna say, right,
because basically, he's fighting crime at night, he's working during the day. How is he managing to do all this without sleep? And we see...
That was my first question.
Yeah, well, that question is going to be disappointingly answered. We see Robin in the Batcave. He opens up a big bag, like a big holdall of extra strength super Ritalin. Remember the name Ritalin. That allows extra focus and to go without sleep. So he's popping the pills every morning. He goes out to his favorite breakfast spot in Gotham City, a English style greasy spoon breakfast cafe called Alfred's, owned by Michael Caine's Alfred's. And he has his full English breakfast every morning, pops a few more of the Ritalin, goes off, fights crime, takes a few more, fights crime in the evening, cycle starts all over again, and we get that accelerated montage. That's why I need Aronofsky. So if he's willing to do a Batman, I feel like he's the man for the job.
All right.
But the next morning, Robin's in Alfred's reading the Gotham Globe. A new column has appeared on the back page. The Riddler.
Nice.
And it's just like an anonymous author who sends in riddles. But when he consults with Alfred, he realizes that all the riddles that have been put in the paper so far are all clues to Bruce Wayne being Batman. That's the solution is, but only Alfred and he would know that. And Commissioner Gordon, but he's off doing commissioner stuff.
Commissioner business.
Yeah. We don't see much of him. And so, Robin says, well, you're going to have, you've still got a line to Batman, Alfred. You need to get in touch with him. You need to tell him that people are trying to reveal his secret identity. So Alfred goes to Pompeii to rendezvous with Batman. Because then you get the visual of all the dead people preserved and, the kind of thematic significance of that.
All right.
And he meets, Bruce Wayne incognito, who now has a long beard, long hair, wears glasses, full-on disguise. No one will ever know it's him. And, they say the whole thing
Except
about...
his lovely wife, Catwoman? Or
no, we don't. He maybe mentions her, but we're not talking about her. And, Alfred is trying to convince him to come back to Gotham and, deal with this. And he said, well, everyone thinks Batman's dead. And everyone thinks that I took my own life after I lost my fortune. Because that was never explained, how Bruce Wayne was supposed to die. So we get that. And Alfred says, well, and this is another part of The Dark Knight Rises that bugged me. It said, there are still plenty of hardline Harvey Denters out there who refuse to believe that Batman, just because Bane read that speech, that Batman wasn't the villain that we said. So it said if they find out that you are Bruce Wayne, if they get a chance to dig into your legacy, find out you were lying, they're gonna make you take that statue down, everything. And it says, and Batman still means something to the people of Gotham. Maybe he gets a little bit teary, just a little bit. And so
tears?
Just, broken. We'll do a little broken Alfred at that point. I'll give him that. Right. Kane will be pushing for it, so, we'll want to... he gets to go to Italy. He'll be happy. And then, Bruce Wayne reluctantly agrees and says, well, I'll go... he says, I'll go back to Gotham. I have to come up with a cover or a disguise. I don't want people to see the ghost of Bruce Wayne. And Alfred, his departing words are, with your new look, Master Wayne, I'd be more worried about people seeing sightings of a ghost of John Lennon. And then, boom, he's gone. So get Alfred doing nice Alfred things too.
Right.
But what they specifically, they're like, we should talk to Blake and and tell him about what's going on. And Alfred says no. Says that boy's got enough on his plate, not just my full English. So they don't want to bother him, so they don't tell him that Batman's coming back or any of that sort of stuff. And Batman, as this kind of disguised character, goes back to Gotham. He goes to the Gotham Globe to find out who this guy is. Editor of the Gotham Globe, Alexander Knox. I would like Robert Wool, but I'm going to use my time machine. Says this guy's anonymous. We can't do this. And then the Bruce Wayne, who's posing as an investigative journalist, says look, I'm a freelance journalist, and if I find out, this is my part of my report into the Bat and who the Batman is. So when I find that out, you'll get the exclusive. So the editor reluctantly gives him the envelopes of the letters that the Riddler stuff's been sent in, postmarked from Arkham Asylum, where the Joker now resides. That's right, I'm using my time machine to bring Heath Ledger back to life.
Nice.
So he's immediately putting two together going, oh, this guy, the Joker. Same MO, It's the same. It's the Riddler and the Joker basically have the same thing going on. The cryptic messages, all that sort of stuff, the colorful flair.
Love it.
But he goes to Arkham Asylum and finds that the Joker's like everyone's favorite patient there. He's like tapped into a bunch of grant money for media-based programs for inmates, and he now runs Joker TV, which is like the Arkham Asylum TV station, and broadcasts live like 16 hours a day. And I've thought of one gag where the Heath Ledger's Joker said, "You want to see some close-up magic? And then I will make this broadcast disappear," and he smashes the camera into his face. And there's like broken cameras everywhere, and the security guards.
And then he just throws it into a pile of broken
cameras.
Yeah,
exactly. And the security guards are saying, "There goes another camera," and he's like, "Nah, there's enough grant money to cover that." So Batman starts to realize this doesn't fit what any of what the Joker's doing. So at this point he's like, the Joker's a dead end. Something else is going on. There's some other Riddler in town. Finally, he reveals himself to. Oh, also Chase Adams is the Arkham Asylum doctor. So, like right. Bruce Wayne, that's his love interest for this movie. So in all the interactions at Arkham Asylum. So he finally reveals himself to Robin, and Robin sort of says, I said, look, I got to level with you in order to keep up this nighttime vigilante act. I've been taking the super strength Ritalin that I confiscated. And he's like, what if the same guy, the Riddler...
Is he sending letters in a fugue state?
Yeah. He's like, what if the same guy, Riddler, Ritalin, what if it's part of the same... What if that's a clue to who this guy is? The same guy who was putting out this extra strength Ritalin all over the place. And anyway, they track it back and find out it's Robin in a fugue state.
Yes.
In the wee hours of the morning, who has been putting out this extra strength Ritalin.
I got it.
We think he's confiscated it. He says he's confiscated it, but that's the story he's telling himself. He actually imported it himself and is using it, and he has become the alter ego, the Riddler. And the movie ends with him being committed to Arkham Asylum, and like unable to distinguish himself between the Riddler and Robin. And at the very final scene is the Joker like coming up to him in Arkham Asylum and saying, you want to work together? That's the end of the movie.
Love it.
So, as I said, alarmingly specific, but I wanted to...
I'm on board.
Yeah.
But...
yeah, there you go.
What do the people think, Tom? So, ladies and gentlemen,
well,
you're
this
gonna
is a
have
Batman
to let us
movie,
know.
so who cares what the people think? Democracy doesn't work.
Not in a Batman movie, but on this podcast, goddammit. Go ahead and send us your votes. Let us know which sequel you want pitched. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. Send us an email to everythingsequel@gmail.com, please. For Tom Stewart of Lonesome Whistle Productions, I am Michael Shantz of the How Dare You Awards. Say goodbye, Tom.
This is a time bomb.
I'll say. Fucking time bomb. It's a 1-month time bomb.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. That's what the line should have been.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. Our next episode will be a brand new series. If you like podcasts like I do, boy, do I have a treat for you. You need to
stay on target
and check out the Sounds and Cinema podcast. Listen as your host, sound designer and music creator Tony Parham, and co-host, musical performer and sound lover Derek Hansen, D-Rock if you're nasty, and I am, discuss all things sound related to film, television, stage, and theatrical productions. They discuss environmental sounds, bioacoustics, dialogue, the nature of communication through sound, but as an added bonus, they drink beer and try to
stay on target.
Find them wherever you get your podcasts and listen to the pure mania of a man who can charitably be described as Doug, the dog from Up, and another man with a soothing and sultry voice trying to get that man to
stay on target.
That's the Sounds in Cinema podcast. Tune in and listen to the sounds they are creating just for you.